In this video, we are going to do a pretty fast and energizing warm-up that also has a really lovely balance component to it. So, there are quite a few things I want to go over before we get started because it is pretty fast moving. First and foremost, I want to remind you to always go at your own pace. Listen to your body, make the movements smaller and slower if you need to. So that is the most important part always. If anything is uncomfortable, stop doing it and move on with the next portion of the choreography. So that's the most important part. For the balance section, you may need something to hold on to. I recommend definitely in the beginning that you have something to hold on to, whether that be a chair or a wall or just something nearby to help you keep your balance. And I want to remind you that balance is definitely a reflex that we can train. So one of the things that happens as we get older is we can lose a sense of balance, and you hear all the time about elderly people falling. Well, the beautiful thing is that you can train balance and it will serve you for as long as you're training it. So if you're starting the balance part in the beginning and you really feel off balance, don't worry about it. With practice, it will come. Use a chair, use the wall, use something during the balance portion until you're ready to let go of that. The other thing about the balance portion, we will be doing some specific leg exercises. If that's too much for you right now, skip it. You can just stand on one leg while we're doing the leg exercises, and then when we switch legs, stand on the other leg. That in itself is a great balance practice. So I'm going to walk you through it now so that when we do it together, you'll know what's coming. We're going to just start with some simple marching. And we're going to start doing it slowly and then we'll speed it up. Remember, speeding up is always optional. One of the things I want you to focus on with the marching in the beginning is that you really kind of roll through your feet so that you get the feet moving and you wake them up. Okay, we'll do it slowly, then we'll speed it up. Then we're going to add a little bit of clapping. This is for coordination, which is also something that can be trained. So if at first the clapping is a bit much, skip it or slow it down. After that, we're going to go and do a little step, touch, a little step, kick. When we do these movements, just imagine you're flicking water or stress or anything off your fingers and your toes. And then we move into a step tap. Now the step tap, you can keep it, step tap can look like this. And step tap can also look like this. Okay, I'm going to do it pretty big and really get into it. Listen to your body. The lower you go, the harder it will be. Do what feels appropriate to you. That could change every day. We're also going to add some arm swings with these step taps, these step touches. And I want you to really allow your arms to swing freely when you do this. If you have any kind of dislocated shoulder type stuff, I would skip this portion entirely. Also, if you feel like you're really getting winded, skip the arms, just do the legs and make it smaller. It's totally fine. There's going to be a section where we do both arms together. Okay, and then from here, we're going to go step, arms up, circle around, step, tap, and then go the other way. Now remember, there's quite a bit of coordination here. It comes with practice. You don't have to do it. If you just want to stand in place and go like this, fine, no problem at all. Or if you just want to do this, also okay. I will give a little advanced variation to this, should you choose to take the challenge when we get to that portion. And that's going to look like with a little lift of the back leg, totally optional. From there, we are going to be moving into the balance section. A couple of things I want you to keep in mind. So one, when we're doing all the single leg exercises, we'll be doing single leg kicks in different directions. I want you to try to keep the waistband of your pants really parallel to the floor. So these movements are not going to be as big as you might think. They're going to be, you're going to go as high as you can. It's probably not going to be as high as you think if you keep your pelvis really still and aligned. So we'll start. First, we're going to start with just flexing and pointing the feet a little bit. And we're going to do it slowly, then we'll speed it up. Remember, speeding up always optional. And then from there, we're going to go into single leg kicks. So to align this, I want you to think about standing up really, really tall. So you're using your core, your supporting leg is pressing down into the ground, and all the muscles on the supporting leg, as well as your core, have to work for the balance. The leg that we're working, imagine that you are reaching it out as far as you can. So the leg is really long, the muscles are really active, really supporting that leg, and then you're going to lift it as high as you can and lower it back down. Now notice I'm not lifting all that high. And the reason for that is I'm trying to keep my pelvis really neutral. So really only my thigh bone is moving in the hip socket, but I'm not doing anything like this, okay? So it's fairly neutral. I'm not really taking the curve out of my lower back, okay? We'll repeat this on both legs. Now, for starters, it's easier to balance with your arms out on the side. I'm going to give some variation where I put my arms up. This is the advanced variation. Basic beginner variation, place your hand on a chair, hold on to a wall as you're doing it. Kind of intermediate, advanced, stay with what's right for your body. The next movement are going to be kicks out to the side. So we're going to bring the leg out to the side. Hips are really square to the front. That leg is a little bit turned out on this one. So the knee is kind of angled up and we're really pointing the toe. You're reaching the leg long. Now you want to watch out for doing this. This hip is really working to keep you aligned. And then when you lift that leg, now notice my leg's not going that high. I could go higher if I did something like this, but I'm trying to keep the upper body super erect. And you will really feel this when you're doing it correctly. You're really going to feel something happening here. So turning the leg out, reaching it long, lifting and lowering. We'll repeat other side. Then we're going to do it to the back. Again, hips are square to the front, waistband level, leg reaching back behind you. You want to really stretch that leg nice and long. Belly's lifted and we're nice and erect through the spine. Okay, from the side, it's going to look more like this. Now notice when I lift the leg here, it's barely going up. If I wanted to lift further, I would have to bend forward. But that's not the move. The move is being as erect as you can. Shoulders are dropped. You may definitely need to hold on to something. And you're using your glute to lift that leg. So you want to really feel this in your butt. Leg is reaching long. And that's pretty much the entire thing. So let's put it all together. Just the feet to start. Feeling that articulation and speeding it up. Remember, that's optional. And adding some claps. And a step kick, flicking water off the fingers and the toes. Getting ready for a step tap. Remember to stay at a height that's right for you. Add an arm. Let it swing through space. Feel the air. And switch. Make sure you're smiling. Both arms. And get ready for the full circle. And then we're going to go into a little throwing the ball and a little gentle twist, bringing everything back to center, preparing for balance. Flex, point, flex, point. Speed it up, optional, and switch. Flex, point, and faster. Single leg lift. Reach that leg long. Speed it up. And get ready to switch. Lift, lower, reach, and faster. Get ready for a side leg lift. Faster, optional. And switch. Same thing. And faster. And switch to the back. Try to stay as upright as you can. Really use the glutes. And speed it up. Other leg. Reach and lift. Belly in. And speed it up. And leg forward, side, back, together. Forward, side, back, together. All done. Couple of nice deep breaths. Just feeling the beating of your heart and the aliveness of your body. Just noting how you feel now compared to before you did the exercise. And thanking yourself for having done something lovely for you today.